Hi, I'm Liv Long, founder and CEO of SMSF AI, and today I've got Carmel Pavan with me from As Good as Gold. Hi, Carmel.
Hi, Olivia. So nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
No, my pleasure. And look, the reason we've got you on today is that gold and silver is going through the roof, and so many of our clients are asking, where and how do I buy precious metals? So, as a
Uh,
starting point, tell us what's going on with gold and silver.
I'd love to jump in there. That's actually my purpose. Gold has been on a major bull run for the last 12 months. So it is increasing. The spot price has been increasing 40%. So for the last 12 months, gold has increased 40%. Silver's doing quite well. It's around 30%. It will continue to hold value and increase. It is absolutely the top tier world-class investment, hands down. Best store of value. It is a mid to long-term investment. You can purchase any time, and great for self-managed super funds to diversify, because you can buy bullion in a self-managed super fund.
Okay, so what is bullion?
Well, bullion is, can I actually show you?
Please
Great,
do.
okay. Excuse me. So bullion is gold and silver. First of all, I'll say that all the gold and silver products that we have, bullion products, are from Australia. They're all the highest purity, which is 99.99. Bullion grade globally is 99.92. So we have the highest quality bullion, and we are very proud of that. It's absolutely guaranteed. And by we, it's As Good as Gold Australia. We're our third largest, fastest growing. We've got clients all over Australia, and we have both Perth Mint products and anything with AG, our brand. We also have our products as well, and we're very competitive. So here's the first one. So that's 10 ounces. That's a 10 ounce gold bar. Then we go down to, say, the 1 ounce. That's a 1 ounce of pure gold. And the most popular is the 1 ounce. And if you can see, that's a half ounce. Olivia, we've started producing half ounces because 1 ounce of gold now, the record number was a couple of weeks ago, the record high was $5,330. So it's now over the $5,000 mark.
Wow.
So they're the bars. With silver, yes, exactly. And again, continuing to hold its value and will increase. And I can talk about the reasons why as well too. But still excitingly showing you some products. That's 1 kilo of silver, and
Yes.
there's 32.15 ounces in a kilo. The bigger the bar, the less per ounce. And then I'll just show you one more. This is unless you wanted to see more, but that's the Freedom. That was developed, it's called Freedom, Phoenix Rising from the Ashes. That was developed during COVID, because that's when, on a serious note, we knew what freedom
Yes.
wasn't. So that's 1 ounce of silver, and I've showed you the gold. Gold and silver ratio is very rare. It's probably only a handful of times that this has happened. The ratio is 100 to 1. So it takes 100 ounces of silver to buy just 1 ounce of gold. So that
Wow.
means, yeah, that means gold is very expensive, but silver is on the other scale very inexpensive. So right now, $5,140 per ounce, spot price gold, $51.50 silver. Massive difference, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been buying gold for over 15 years. So to look at those figures is just amazing.
Well, over 15 years. Do you remember what the spot price was when you
No,
purchased? Something in the
I can
couple of
have a look.
$100. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's nuts. That's absolutely
yeah.
nuts. So,
So
yeah. So
bars,
why would you,
coins, and rounds. Sorry, bars, coins, and rounds. Bullion.
yeah, yeah. I'm doing coins. Uh,
Okay.
a lot of ounces and half ounces in mine.
Yeah, well, there's a good reason for why that's becoming more popular, because it's also easy to sell. If you bought gold, imagine 1 kilo of gold, which is right now about 170,000. That could at least in the next 12 months double, or next couple of years, absolutely, at the very least. You have to sell that larger bar.
Exactly.
You can't cut it. You can't damage the integrity. So always smaller is better. Half ounce, 1 ounce. You're very smart in terms of your bullion investment, and that's exactly what we are advising.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. So let's talk about then the bullion industry. What's happening in general? We've talked about why it's going nuts, but why is it a smart move, would you say, for sort of mid to longer term investing?
Because it is the top tier world-class investment, definitely, and always has been. With what's happening in the world at the moment, we're in very unprecedented, uncertain times. So anything that's decentralized, like crypto and bullion, it is absolutely the smart investment because you own it. It's yours, it's physical, you hold it, and you'll always have control of it. You can go to any bullion dealer with the pure bullion that we sell, and they'll always buy back. There'll always be a demand. So that's that extra surety that it will always be something that you can both hold and also transact. I think we don't have enough time just to really find out what's going on in the world. The Trump tariffs, the reserve banks of most of the non-English speaking countries are hoarding, buying as much gold as possible, and they have been since 2016. There's a lot of activity happening at the moment in the European Union. There's a proposal with the BRICS nations that will see a new international trading dollar, which will not be US. Then you've got all the activity of what's happening in the US, trying to create the new stable coin, the new digital currency, digital technology everywhere. It's just a massive world we're living in terms of changes. And so getting in to buy bullion, we just say, look, buy as much as you can, buy what you can afford, buy if not for yourself, for your children, because you can also pass it down to next generations.
Yeah. And look, it's interesting you mentioned crypto, because a lot of my clients have made a lot of money in cryptocurrency, and they've made so much that they're forced to diversify now. And so maybe it's that control factor. A lot of them are going for precious metals to sort of hedge their bets. And I guess it's because they do have that direct control over the actual physical asset.
Absolutely correct. You can always take it overseas too. I've had clients who take it overseas. It's theirs, that they're in a backpack, etc. And the beauty there is that when you take gold or silver anywhere else, the spot price is set globally. There's about 1% margin for gold, about 2.5% for silver, but you know exactly what that's worth. And you're right, we've also got clients who do the same thing too. They're buying bullion through, when they're selling some crypto, buying bullion. But for me, it's also about diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Totally agree with you. We have clients who definitely are looking at that and continue to do so as well. Property also is another thing that we have clients who, and this is my office, so they come into the office, but we have clients all over Australia. You just call anytime. What clients are saying regarding property, sometimes it's just not feasible, it's just not viable. So they're cashing out on property and purchasing bullion through us, and certainly having discussions about purchasing crypto as well to diversify. The land tax alone in Victoria, as you know, Olivia, is the highest. And then you have all the other maintenance and other expenses that you have when you, say, purchase property. Well, you don't have any expenses other than if you're vaulting, if you're storing in a professional vault, or you can keep your bullion on your own premises. And we say just buy a feather duster to dust it every now and again. There's no other expense, no GST on bullion.
So why then are SMSFs increasingly buying bullion?
From what you said earlier, is where people want more control. It's about empowering themselves. I have as you do, we do consultations regarding SMSFs all the time. I have an SMSF, and I couldn't wait to purchase my assets, particularly gold and silver, in an SMSF. And so why are people coming to talk to us at As Good as Gold Australia to set up an SMSF? Because one of the assets you can legitimately purchase is, of course, bullion. And so they may not have the cash, they may not have the funds available, but they have it tied up in their super. So empowering themselves to set up a self-managed super fund straight through you, and then talking to me about diversifying their portfolio in their self-managed super fund and buying bullion.
So Carmel, what are some of the other benefits of a self-managed super fund?
Oh, great question. I know because of my personal self-managed super fund, the taxes are much lower. If you look at your superannuation account, as I did, so I'm an externalist, I had my Vision Super was the company, I had it on my app, and I wanted to make sure that every month I was being paid my super. And then I did a calculation of all the taxes and all the portfolio and asset management and other fees that were coming out of my superannuation fund. And as well, looking at the yield, like it was not anywhere near the 40% or even the 30%. In fact, it was probably about 8%. And I thought, I'm getting older. It is my retirement savings plan. It's my money. Super is your money. I just thought there's got to be an alternative. It's got to be a much better alternative. So the tax benefit, so lower taxes on the proportional increase over the 12 months that your assets have made, 15%. The fees are nowhere near what they were in superannuation. And as you know, being a company director of my self-managed super fund, I get to choose the assets. That to me was a bit of a no-brainer. I thought I really need to do this.
Oh, excellent. So another benefit which I'll point out is for people that buy precious metals while they're accumulating their super, like you and I are, if we buy those assets and sit on them and hold them until we reach pension mode, then when we convert our account into a full pension, as long as we're below the transfer balance cap, so let's say for argument's sake, we've got under $2 million in our fund, then any capital gain that we've made on that bullion over that period of time becomes entirely tax-free.
That's right.
So once they start selling down their assets, it's tax-free. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, and then it goes back to what I was saying before about why buy the smaller, is because 1 ounce could be, they're predicting 1 ounce of gold could be 10 to 15,000 Australian dollars by 2030 when we do head first. We'll go head first into digital currency, right? It's the great reset, the great financial reset, the great reset, the great asset reset. So you only need to sell a couple of ounces, maybe not even that year. So if you choose to even sell the gold or silver alone. And so, it's just a great option, I think. And we're just doing record numbers of self-managed super fund consultations. There's so many people now who are starting to realize how I can actually control this myself. You would agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. And it's just nice to be able to touch and look at and feel your asset. And one thing I should mention is that for self-managed super funds, a requirement is that on a periodical basis, they provide evidence to their fund auditor that they've got the precious metals still on file or, at hand. So one of the services that you offer, I believe, is storage or a custodial service. Can you talk about that and how that fits in with self-managed funds?
Absolutely. So when you're purchasing bullion through us, it's we send you an invoice. We set up a client account in the name of your self-managed super fund, so it's absolutely trackable and traceable. And the invoice is the legally binding document. You know exactly what you purchased on the date and what the cost was per unit. So then you can calculate, which we supply you the statement as well, end of financial year, so you'll know how much it's increased in value. Storage, of course, it's physical. So the first thing is you could store your bullion on your own premises in a self-managed super fund, or of course, if you just want to buy individually, you can store it wherever you choose. One of my staff is actually an expert on safes, so we can give you advice. Her and her ex-husband had a very successful safe company, cash ratings, insurances, etc. So you can store your bullion at home or on your premises. Or you can store it in a vault. So As Good as Gold Australia has a beautiful professional vault in Adelaide. It's called KWS. It stands for King William Street, a bit of a mouthful, but King William Street, KWS Vaults. A company owns the vault, and you can store your products there. You can have two options with vaulting. One is personal vaulting, and that is when you put your products in the vault. You are allocated a storage unit. It's by weight, so the cost is by weight. Mine's a couple of $100 that I pay per year. In a self-managed super fund, well, great, that's an expense. So I've chosen to have my bullion in the vault. And it's personal, so that I can I go there, I'm the only one there, put the bullion in, take photos. There's a padlock, I have a key with a spare, and I know it's safely secured there. The other option is I don't have to go to the vault at all. We transfer, so our logistics team transfers the bullion into the vault, and it's custodially kept. And so you don't even have to lift a finger, and they can also supply photos to show your bullion is there. And they also give you the holding statement at the end of financial year as well. So it's pretty simple. In Melbourne, there's the Melbourne Vault. A lot of our clients do actually have their bullion in the Melbourne Vault. So that's another option, but you can store it at any vault. I just wanted to give you that option if you chose the Adelaide at all.
Yeah. Again, it's the flexibility which people love.
Yeah, and knowing you can actually keep it at home.
Yeah. Okay,
in a self-managed super fund.
Yeah, for sure. So for people who have a self-managed super fund, if they'd like to talk to you about investing and purchasing some bullion, how do they best get in contact with you, Carmel?
Look, they can call our office number, my email. I'm happy for you to give out. I've got other team as well. We'd love to help. We have a complimentary consultation with you. There's no cost. We advise you along the way, and it's a very simple process. It takes about 2 minutes to set up your self-managed super fund client account, and then we discuss the bullion, how much you would like. If you'd like to have the products couriered, we organise a guaranteed courier delivery to your premises as well, and we advise you along the way. So we try and make it as easy and stress-free, which it is.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today. We'll see you soon.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.